Deep inside your chest, a rhythm is playing out that hasn't stopped since weeks before you were born. It is a tireless, high-pressure hydraulic system circulating life-sustaining fluid through 60,000 miles of biological tubing. But the power of the pump isn't the whole story. The real secret to your survival lies in four microscopic pieces of tissue, four precision-engineered gates that open and shut over 100,000 times every single day. If these gates fail by even a fraction of a second, the entire system collapses. You're alive because of a masterpiece of timing. We often think of the heart as a single unit, but it's actually two pumps working in perfect synchronization. The right side handles the used oxygen-depleted blood, while the left side manages the high-octane, oxygen-rich supply. However, a pump is useless without direction. Without a way to ensure fluid moves forward and never backward, the heart would simply churn blood in place. This is where the valves come in. These are the four secret gates: the tricuspid, the pulmonary, the mitral, and the aortic. They aren't just flaps of skin, they are pressure-sensitive doorways that respond to the physics of your internal environment. Our journey begins on the right side of the heart. Imagine a chamber called the right atrium. It's the collection point for blood returning from the rest of your body, tired, dark red, and hungry for oxygen. As this chamber fills, pressure builds against the first gate, the tricuspid valve. Named for its three distinct leaflets, or cusps, this valve acts as the entry point to the right ventricle. When the atrium contracts, the tricuspid leaflets peel back like the petals of a flower, allowing blood to surge downward. But here is the engineering marvel. As soon as the ventricle below begins to squeeze, the pressure from beneath slams the tricuspid shut. To prevent the valve from inside out like an umbrella in a storm, tiny biological tethers called chordae tendineae, often called your heartstrings, hold the leaflets firmly in place. One-way traffic is officially established. With the tricuspid locked tight, the blood has only one exit left. This leads us to the second gate, the pulmonary valve. This gate is the guardian of the lungs. Unlike the tricuspid, the pulmonary valve is a semilunar valve, shaped like three crescent moons. It doesn't need heartstrings to stay shut. Its very shape allows it to catch back-flowing blood and seal itself automatically. As the right ventricle contracts with immense force, the pulmonary valve snaps open, and blood is launched into the pulmonary artery toward the lungs. Here the blood sheds carbon dioxide and drinks in fresh oxygen. The moment the contraction ends, the pressure in the artery becomes higher than the pressure in the heart, and the pulmonary gate snaps shut, preventing the blood from falling back into the chamber it just left. Now the stakes get higher. The blood returns from the lungs, bright red and ready to power your brain and muscles. It enters the left atrium, standing before the third, and perhaps most famous gate, the mitral valve. In the medical world, this is the only valve with just two leaflets instead of three. It was named for its resemblance to a mitre, the ceremonial headdress worn by bishops. While it has fewer parts, it arguably has the hardest job. It sits at the entrance of the left ventricle, the strongest, most muscular chamber of our heart. The mitral valve must withstand incredible pressure. If it leaks even slightly, blood backs up into the lungs, causing shortness of breath. It is a high-performance seal, operating with the precision of a Swiss watch, ensuring that every drop of oxygenated blood stays on its path toward the rest of the body. Finally, we reach the endgame, The left ventricle is full. It is the most powerful muscle in your chest, capable of shooting blood several feet into the air if it were ever breached. To move this blood out, the heart must open the fourth and final gate, the aortic valve. This is the exit to the aorta, the body's superhighway. The aortic valve is a masterpiece of structural integrity. It must open wide enough to allow a massive volume of blood to exit in a fraction of a second, then snap shut with enough force to resist the massive back pressure of the entire systemic circulation. It is the final checkpoint. Once blood passes through this gate, there is no turning back. It is on its way to your fingertips, your toes, and your mind. If you've ever listened to a heartbeat through a stethoscope, you've heard a rhythmic lub-dub, lub-dub. Most people think they are hearing the heart muscle squeezing. They aren't. What you are actually hearing is the sound of these four gates slamming shut. The lub, the first sound, is the tricuspid and mitral valves closing together. The dub, the second sharper sound, is the pulmonary and aortic valves locking into place. You aren't listening to the sound of life being pushed. You are listening to the sound of your valves preventing your life from flowing backward. It is the sound of biological security. But what happens when a gate fails? In the world of cardiology, there are two main problems: stenosis and regurgitation. Stenosis occurs when a valve becomes stiff or narrow, perhaps due to calcium buildup. It's like a door with rusted hinges. The heart has to work twice as hard just to push the blood through the tiny opening. Regurgitation, on the other hand, is a leaky valve. The door doesn't close all the way, and blood slips backward, forcing the heart to repump the same blood over and over. While modern medicine has developed incredible ways to repair or replace these gates, using everything from mechanical valves to tissue from biological donors, the complexity of the original design remains unmatched. Because symptoms can be subtle, from fatigue to a slight murmur, medical evaluation is the only way to ensure the gates are still holding. Pause for a moment and consider the math. At an average heart rate, these valves will open and close roughly 3 billion times in a human life. They do this without lubrication, without rest, and without the possibility of a total system shutdown for maintenance. They are made of thin, flexible tissue, yet they are stronger than most synthetic materials we can manufacture. They respond to the changing pressures of your life, whether you are sprinting for a bus or falling into a deep sleep. It is a level of reactive engineering that human architects can only dream of. Your heart is more than just a pump. It is a complex landscape of chambers and corridors governed by 4 secret gates. These valves are the silent sentinels of your existence. They define the direction of your life, one beat at a time. The next time you feel your pulse, remember the 4 gates working in the dark, opening, closing, and keeping you alive. If you found this look inside the human machine fascinating, consider subscribing for more deep dives into the science of you. The more we understand the rhythm, the better we can